Listen to this, my friends. This clip has gone viral in the past couple of weeks. Listen.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left
but
or right.
Anyways,
I don't really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so yeah. You must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not sure. I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
That was Pierre Poilievre, munching on an apple while making an ideological journalist sound like an absolute moron. Notice how frequently this happens with journalists in this country when they simply cannot back up the claims they're making against a conservative. It is truly disgusting, but also hilarious. Anyhow, that happened. I will, however, say that Pierre is in fact not telling the truth when he says he doesn't talk about left and right. He does and has frequently talked about left versus right. And so what? There isn't anything wrong with that. Stop acting like it's a bad thing. The left is insane, and we should acknowledge that. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I know I did. Holy fuck, did I make myself even fatter, ladies and gentlemen. Like every Thanksgiving, I ate myself into a coma, and it was fantastic. I don't regret it. I won't be losing any weight anytime soon, so who cares? Next comes the pumpkin pies and candy from Halloween. I love Halloween. I don't want to talk too much about the atrocities that unfolded in Israel over Thanksgiving, but I will say this. The Jews have called Jerusalem their home since before Islam was even a religion. Jews have occupied most of what we know as Israel for thousands of years. There is no question about that. It is interesting, though, to see the hypocrisy and paradoxical principles being exposed from all of this, isn't it? Answer me this. How can you defend Hamas and Palestinians while at the same time defend and support indigenous people in Canada who we call First Nations? How can you do these silly land acknowledgements about being on whatever treaty land you are on, then categorically deny Israel's right to exist? Jews were there long before Muslims, that's a fact. Now, I understand the hypocrisy on both sides. We most certainly have people supporting Israel, but not our indigenous folks here in Canada. Perhaps we need to sort that out. What do you think? We need to find some more consistency in what we believe. If we support Israel, we should consider at least accepting some of the complaints, concerns and hardships of Canada's indigenous population. Now, I don't buy all that genocide rubbish, but I'm willing to accept that they were here first, before us and our ancestors. We cannot and should not attempt to erase any culture on Earth, that's all. Apparently, Alberta wants out of Canada's pension programme. I think the feds, of course, don't want that to happen, because it would shrink the entire country's pool of people who pay into that pension. It would probably be a lot worse for the rest of us in Canada than it would be for Albertans if that happened, but all the power to them if they can pull it off. What do you think? I'm going to take my show monthly, my friends, and these episodes will be a tiny bit longer. So the next episode will be at the end of November, and then every last Sunday of every month. Comment and let me know what kinds of things I should discuss. I will continue commenting briefly on the events of our time, but if there is anything specific you want me to focus on, let me hear it. Or read it, I suppose. I also have some interviews planned for later in the new year, so stay tuned. Also, don't forget, I'm on Spotify, Amazon Music and Google Podcasts. Please do me a favour and subscribe. Happy Halloween, my friends. Make sure to dress up as your favourite super villain.
Forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense. Okay. Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't have any common sense in the current government. The guy prints $600 billion, grows our money supply by 32% in 3 years. That's growing the money 8 times faster than the economy. No wonder we have the worst inflation in 4 decades. I'm going to cap spending, cut waste, so that we can balance the budget and bring down inflation and interest rates. You'll want to be able to pay your mortgage again? You want to be able to afford rent? Then you have to vote for Pierre Poilievre, because I am the only one with a common sense plan that will bring back the buying power of your paycheck.